this is coming in from West Asia. The US-Iran conflict has reignited and the deal is over as well. Just a day after President Donald Trump warned of fresh action, the US military has said that it has struck nearly 90 targets across Iran. CENTCOM has released strike footage that you can also see on the screen, saying that the operation targeted air defense system, missile and drone sites, naval assets and military infra along the Strait of Hormuz. Iran, of course, has hit back, attacking US military facilities in Bahrain and Kuwait, while also warning US that broken promises will come at a cost.
While we were sleeping here overnight, the U.S. launched fresh strikes on Iran. And when reporters here asked President Trump at the summit, what is going on with that ceasefire? Is that memorandum of understanding no longer valid? And he said, for me, the ceasefire is over. He said, my negotiators can continue to talk if they want, but he sees those negotiations as a waste of time. He had very harsh words for Iranian leaders, and he repeated over and over that in his view that the ceasefire was over.
And now US President Donald Trump has claimed that Iran is desperate for a deal with the US and that they are not in any mood to strike a deal at this very point in time. On the other hand, Iran has made it quite clear that they will respond with the dialogue, but in fact they will be responding with a strict action. So let's tell you what he said yesterday.
We hit back much harder.
Are we returning to full-scale military conflict, sir?
I don't know. I don't know. We'd win it very quickly. It's another way of doing it. We have many ways we can win, but we've already won militarily. They have very little. They have very little left, and they want to make a deal so badly. They called a little while ago. They want to make a deal so badly. I just don't know if they're worthy of making a deal. I don't know that they're going to honor the deal. That's the problem.
If they want to make a deal, why do you think they attacked commercial vessels?
Because they're sort of crazy, to be honest with you. They're sort of crazy. They're a little bit out of control, but they want to make a deal. Badly.
And today is day 3 of the attacks and the counter-attacks. US and Iran tensions are running high. And now there's a big update coming in from Iran. Just a while back, we were learning explosions were reported in southern port city of Bandar Abbas. The city is located along the Strait of Hormuz, a key global shipping route. And this comes at a time when tensions between US and Iran are already running very high. And not just that, we're learning about multiple sites in southern Iran that have been hit in the renewed strikes, including areas near Bushehr nuclear facility. The latest attack comes as tensions between US and Iran continue to escalate. And amid the military action, questions remain over whether US is still committed to a diplomatic solution or not. Let me go get you more details and go across to Akanksha Swarup, editor Foreign Affairs. Good morning to you. We are learning the tensions are running high in West Asia. And the latest, we are learning that areas in southern part of Iran, they have been hit badly by the United States. Give us more details on that.
A very good morning to you, Akanksha, and all our viewers as well. And yes, this is the third day of U.S. strikes on southern Iran. And we are seeing that Bandar Abbas, Sirik, of course, in other places, there's also Bushehr and Kunarak, which are all located around the Strait of Hormuz. These places continue to get pounded. There's been exchange of fire between the United States and Iran over the past 3 days now. And this is, of course, thrusting the entire West Asian region into a renewed state of volatility. So Iran's state media is already reporting further strikes, as you also announced that Bandar Abbas is the latest one. Remember, Bandar Abbas has been in the line of fire as this ceasefire has been challenged yet again. But more importantly, all of these strikes are happening on a day when the late former Ayatollah, the Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's burial ceremony is all set to take place today in Mashhad. His mortal remains will be buried today, and there are elaborate arrangements being made. Emotional scenes are playing out on the streets of not just Mashhad, but even in Tehran and in Iraq, where his mortal remains were taken to the holy city of Najaf. Why I mention this is because the timing has made it even more critical. Will this sort of put the Iranians on a further back foot. But the sense that we are getting is that the MOU, as far as the technical understanding of the talks are concerned, they're still very much on, even though the U.S. president has declared that the ceasefire is not holding anymore. The talks are going to continue, is what we are being told. And there's also clearly the IRGC now trying to exert its control over the Iranian leadership, which, as we all know, is currently being headed by the Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian, the Iranian Parliamentary Speaker Mohammad Ghalibaf, and of course the Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. So we'll have to see if there is any development or forward movement as far as the talks are concerned after the funeral, which, remember, has happened for days in this entire week. It was we've witnessed some marathon ceremonies, and for the U.S. to be striking Iran at this moment, it could kind of just be rubbing salt to their injury.
Very important, what you just pointed out, Akanksha, that even though Donald Trump has said that deal is over, we are learning that the technical talks continue. Thanks so much for bringing that perspective. We'll keep coming back to you for more on that. I'm also joined by KP Fabian, former diplomat. Thank you so much, sir, for connecting with us. How do you look at the renewed tensions between US and Iran? Because many of the experts believe that the MOU was so weak that this had to happen. Would you agree with that?
Good morning. I do not think that the MOU was vague, or rather, its vagueness is the reason for what is happening. In my view, President Trump has been trying to ride two horses at the same time. One horse called diplomacy, the other horse called military threats. Now, it is my view, I could be wrong, that President Trump does not have a proper military option, because if he resumes the war in a big way, then Iran has a wherewithal to resist for weeks or months, taking it very close to the midterms in the United States, which President Trump cannot afford to do. But that doesn't mean he doesn't believe that it is to his advantage to threaten Iran from time to time. Now, what has happened is that that threat has been carried out, and we believe that the third night there has been attack. But here I want to make one point. One, if you ride two horses at the same time, you are likely to fall in between. Second point, and this is very important, the U.S. official has told Al Jazeera, I just read it, that its military was not responsible for the latest attacks. Now, it is very vague, but does it mean that another country has carried out? Does it mean that Israel has carried out? Because Israeli defense minister said, yesterday I read it, saw it, that Israel was ready to intervene. Now, Iran has not yet named any country. So that is one point. Second is, Iran has continued to strike at Gulf states, started with Bahrain and Qatar, Bahrain and Kuwait, and now Qatar also is included. So the fat is on fire. We do not know which way things are going to move.
Absolutely, and that is how Iran has hit back. It has once again attacked the Gulf countries there, attacking the bases, U.S. bases there. Stay on with us, sir. I'll come back to you once again. We have another big update coming in from Iran. In fact, this is a big statement that has come in from Israel's defense minister. He has said that Israel is ready to attack Iran again if needed. He said that Iran has become weaker after earlier attacks and it is still a threat for them. He also said that Israeli military is on high alert and ready for more action. The United States is also continuing the military operation, as we told you about, against Iranian targets. And that is the latest statement we're learning as far as Israel's defense minister is concerned. He has accepted that, yes, as far as Iran is concerned, it is still a threat, but they are also ready for a bigger attack on the country. Let me once again bring in KP Fabian on that. Sir, how serious is this latest warning from Israel, and what could happen if Israel attacks Iran once again?
Well, even if Israel were to attack or has attacked,
right,
mind you, we do not know. Even then, it is my view that Iran can have the wherewithal to sustain the resistance for weeks or months, taking it closer and closer to the midterms. But let me also make one point which we in India should take note of. The American military has attacked Chabahar, where India had invested more than $630 million, and associated with it is the international North-South corridor and much else, our access to Afghanistan too. So now, why did they do that? Well, my view is that they knew, because targets are chosen carefully. They knew it was Chabahar. They knew that India was engaged there, but, they couldn't care less. They decided to do it because it is a question of, in their view, punishing Iran.
All right, so that is the latest as far as Israel is also concerned, a warning that has come in from Iran. Thank you so much, sir, for connecting with us and putting that into perspective. And with that, we have another breaking update coming in as far as an anti-US message that has emerged from Iran during a funeral procession. We are learning that supporters of Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, displayed a large banner that you can see on the screen. "We will kill Trump," along with the slogan, "There will be blood." Iranian state media has described the display as a symbol of people's blood vengeance, and the incident is expected to add to already very high tensions between Iran and the United States. And this is not the first time that we've seen banners coming to the fore as far as the funeral procession is concerned. The very first day that the process started, we saw similar scenes coming out of Iran. And once again, as you can see on the screen, the banners reading, "We will kill Trump and there will be blood," have emerged from Iran. And in fact, former U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton has questioned Donald Trump's approach to the Iran conflict. In an exclusive interview, Bolton has said that he believes that Trump agreed to the ceasefire and the MOU because of concerns over the rising gasoline prices for American consumers. Listen in to what he said.
Mr. John Bolton is a former National Security Advisor of the United States. Many thanks, Mr. Bolton, for speaking to Times Now. My first question to you, are we now back to square one as far as the war in West Asia is concerned, in your view?
Well, I think in terms of the Strait of Hormuz, we probably are, but I think it's important to understand just how much damage was done to Iran's military-industrial complex during the strikes back in March and April, and has set the institutions of state power in Iran back a long way. I think the current situation in the Strait of Hormuz is unacceptable. I think it's clear that the Iranian government can't come to a common position. It may have people who negotiate with the U.S. Representatives to come up with this MOU. Nobody has given the word to the Revolutionary Guard that they're supposed to abide by the agreement. So this is a fundamental problem inside Iran, caused in part, a substantial part, I think, by the U.S.-Israeli attacks. The top leadership's been decimated, and the government isn't functioning like a normal government.
Right. So this is a very important point that you made as far as the MOU is concerned, because, when it was signed between Iran and the United States, many had raised questions about whether it would last a distance at that point of time. But do you feel that the MOU's wording particularly is vague, which leaves it open to interpretation for each side, US or Iran, which could be quite different?
Well, exactly. It also kicks the key issues like the nuclear program down the road. There hasn't been anything except the lowest level consultations on it. Obviously, no progress on such an important issue. And this is entirely a benefit to the regime in Iran. Every day they gain to pick themselves up after the attacks earlier this year and continue to sell oil on international markets since the U.S. blockade has been lifted is a benefit to them. It doesn't help the U.S. It doesn't really help international petroleum markets, doesn't help the Gulf Arabs or peace and stability in the region.
And with this, a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.